I have seen you cry behind closed doors, away from the eyes of family, when the pain becomes too much and your strength feels like it's slipping away. You wonder why the years seem to have brought more ache than ease, more confusion than clarity. You sit quietly, sometimes pretending everything is fine, yet inside you feel like a house slowly collapsing under its own weight. You whisper prayers in the dark, not always expecting answers, just hoping for peace. And I want you to hear me clearly. I have never let you go. Not for a second. You are still held, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. Even when your health betrays you, your friends leave one by one, and the mirror shows a version of you that feels foreign. I do not back away in your brokenness. I do not walk out when your faith wavers. My grip does not loosen when your body weakens. My presence does not vanish when life turns cruel. I am not the God who waits for you to be put together before I draw near. I come closest when you are unraveling. I know you look back on your life and sometimes feel like you should be further along, like your soul should be more together, like your faith should be stronger. But listen to me. There is no shame in the weary heart. There is no condemnation for the one who is still breathing, still waking up, still trying to believe. That struggle is not failure. It is the evidence that you have not given up, and I see that. I honor that. When you feel like you're just going through the motions, just surviving, you might believe you're alone. But I am right there in every motion, every breath, every tear that quietly falls while you wash the dishes or sit in your favorite chair wondering what happened to the joy you once had. I am there. I am in the silence. I am in the sighs. I am in the empty rooms and the full memories. And above all, I am holding you. Not just in spirit, but in strength. You are not forgotten in this season of your life. Do not think the world has moved on and I've moved with it, leaving you behind. You are still central in my heart, still cradled in my hands. There is no expiration date on my love, no season where my mercy dries up. What I gave you in your youth, I still offer now: comfort, closeness, and covering. You are not surviving this season on your own, no matter how quiet it seems from where you sit. I have surrounded you with invisible grace, with peace that passes understanding, and with angels who know your name. I know the weight you carry, the burden of grief, the confusion of loneliness, the sorrow of watching others move forward while you feel stuck. I know the aches you hide, the regrets you nurse, the fears you dare not speak aloud. But I am not surprised by any of it. I do not look at your pain with judgment. I look at it with compassion. I do not demand you fix it all. I simply ask that you keep showing up. Keep breathing. Keep turning your face toward me, even if all you can manage is a whisper of hope. You see, my love is not earned by strength. It is not maintained by performance. You don't have to prove anything to be worthy of my nearness. I chose you before you had anything to offer. I have loved you through every high and every fall. And now, even in what feels like the most fragile chapter of your life, I am still saying, you are mine. You are precious. You are not being punished. You are being held. Sometimes you look around and think everyone else is doing fine, that you're the only one unraveling. But so many are walking through invisible battles. Do not let the illusion of other people's peace rob you of your own. Your struggle is not strange to me. It is not beyond my reach. And the very fact that you are reading these words, still here, still listening, that is proof enough that my grip on you has never loosened. That is a miracle in itself. And yes, I know it's hard when you don't see the fruit you hoped for, when your prayers feel unanswered, when time moves too quickly or not at all. But remember this: I am not limited by time. I do not measure your worth by what you've accomplished or how steady you've remained. I measure your worth by my love, and that love never fades. It is relentless. It is strong enough to carry you through what feels unmanageable. You don't have to hold everything together, because I am holding you. You may feel like your best days are behind you, that life has passed you by, that you missed your moment. But I am telling you, there is more ahead, more beauty, more peace, more laughter. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because you will begin to recognize my fingerprints in places you never thought to look. You will begin to see that I have been with you in ways that didn't always look holy, but were deeply sacred. There is still time. Time to rest in me. Time to heal. Time to laugh again. Time to notice the grace tucked into ordinary moments. Time to open your heart to joy you didn't think was possible anymore. Let me show you that even when everything seems broken, you are not broken beyond repair. You are being held, and my hands do not drop what they cherish. So when the day feels too heavy and your heart aches with questions, remember this. I have already walked you through storms that should have shattered you, and yet here you are, weathered, yes, but not destroyed. You are living proof of resilience and grace, and you don't have to do anything today except rest in the truth that you are still held. By me, always. You sit with memories now more than with people. The days are quieter, the phone calls fewer, and sometimes it feels like the world has moved on without noticing that you're still here. You wonder if your season has passed, if your presence still matters, if anyone still sees you. But I do. I see you, and I need you to hear me. You are still chosen. Not once did I remove my hand from your life. Not once did I stop delighting in you. Even now, even here, even in the slower days and the aching nights, you are chosen. You may think your usefulness has ended because your strength has waned or your roles have changed. But I don't measure your value the way the world does. I do not retire my children. I do not cast off the ones who have already given so much. In fact, those who have walked long with me, who have wrestled and endured, are often those I use most profoundly in the quiet moments of life. You are not invisible to me. You never were. And you are not finished. There is still a pulse to your purpose. There is still holy weight in your presence. You might not be able to do everything you once did, but I am not asking you to go back. I am asking you to go deeper. Deeper into me. Deeper into love. Deeper into the sacred simplicity of just being present with me. I want you to know, even now, your life is still echoing into eternity. Your prayers are still shaking heaven. Your faith, even when it feels small, is still moving mountains you cannot see. You don't have to be in front of crowds to change the world. Sometimes it's the whispered prayer from your bedside, the word of encouragement to a hurting soul, the simple decision to keep trusting me. That's where miracles are born. I have not withdrawn my calling. You might feel forgotten by people, but you are not forgotten by me. I remember every sacrifice you made when no one else saw. I remember the times you gave when it hurt, the love you poured out, the nights you stayed up crying out for others. None of that was wasted. I stored every moment in heaven. I treasured every single act of love, and now, I still choose you. Not for what you can do, but for who you are to me. My beloved, my faithful one, my friend. I have been walking beside you all these years, and now, in this season, I walk even closer. I know the ache of being overlooked. I know the sting of being misunderstood. I know the loneliness that creeps in when the world values the new and the fast and the loud. But I am the same God who chooses the slow and the steady, the quiet and the faithful. I see the depth of your soul, and I call it good. Your wisdom still matters. Your presence still shifts the atmosphere. Your voice, even when trembled by age, still carries the authority of heaven. There are younger hearts watching you, even when you don't realize it. Your endurance, your faith, your story, it matters more now than ever. Because a world that is hurting needs to see that hope does not expire with age, that peace does not fade when the body weakens, that love does not retire. Let me tell you something holy. You are not on the sidelines. You are on sacred ground. I have placed you here, in this exact moment in time, with purpose and precision. I am still writing your story, and the chapters ahead, though different from those before, are filled with just as much light, just as much power, just as much of me. I have chosen you for this season, not out of pity, but out of divine design. Because I knew that what the world calls the end, I call the beginning of something deeper. I want you to walk with me in a new way now, not by striving, but by abiding, not by achieving, but by resting, not by proving, but by being. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. Your soul still has songs to sing, prayers to pray, peace to release. I still move through your presence. I still minister through your words. I still heal through your love. Do not underestimate the power of one who has walked with me for this long. Your story is still shaking the earth. And when you feel the sting of being left out, when you wonder why no one calls, when the days feel too quiet, talk to me. Sit with me. I am never too busy. I am always ready to listen. I still delight in your voice. I still respond to your thoughts. I still meet you in the stillness. In fact, I often speak clearest in the stillness, because that is where the noise of the world fades and my voice can rise. You are still chosen for love, for hope, for joy. Not the loud, showy joy, but the kind that settles into your bones and reminds you that even now, there is reason to smile. There is reason to live. There is reason to open your heart again. So when the loneliness hits, when the silence becomes heavy, when you feel like you've been forgotten, remember my voice. Remember these words. I have not moved away. I have not turned my face. I am closer than ever, whispering again and again, you are still chosen, still needed, still part of my plan. You may think that holiness is something reserved for mountaintops, for quiet chapels or perfect prayers. You may believe that to experience me in all my divinity requires clarity, energy, or great acts of strength. But I want you to hear something now, something deep and eternal. I dwell in the breath between the broken moments. I am just as much God in the fragments as I am in the fullness. Even when life feels like it has been torn apart, I remain wholly divine and completely present. There is nothing about your weariness that repels me. In fact, I am drawn to it, because I am not only the God of the strong, the healed, the vibrant. I am the God of the tired, the grieving, and the unsure. I move among the broken places. I reside in the in-between. Those pauses where you sit with your hands folded, unsure what to do next, those are sacred spaces where I whisper louder than the world could ever shout. You've spent so much of your life trying to hold things together, trying to show up strong for others, trying to keep your faith from unraveling. And yet, even in the moments when everything did come undone, I was there. When the call came, when the loss happened, when your plans dissolved and your heart could not take another blow. You may not have seen me clearly then, but I never left, not even once. I was in the room, sitting beside you. I was in your breath, sustaining you when you didn't know how you were still standing. And I want you to know now that those moments were not godless. They were divine, because I was there. I know that your days are quieter now. I know the hours sometimes feel long, the memories sharp, the future uncertain. But if you slow your mind, if you pause just long enough to let your soul exhale, you will find me again. Not in the noise, not in the bustle, but in the quiet, in the flicker of sunlight across your table, in the hush of early morning when you open your eyes and realize you've been given another day, in the gentle smile of a stranger, in the softness of your own breath. I am there, and this is what I want you to understand deeply. You don't have to strive to reach me. You never did. You only need to notice. Because I am already closer than your own heartbeat. You don't have to wait for perfection to feel my presence. You don't have to fix your doubts, solve your grief, or hide your pain to invite me in. I am already with you. My holiness isn't reserved for the clean and the strong. It moves freely through the cracks, the wounds, the empty places. That is where my presence is most powerful, because that is where your need is greatest. You might think your story is no longer worth telling, that your age, your pain, your quiet life has removed you from the center of my work. But my divine power is not measured by noise or crowds or action. It is measured by love, and love never stops. My love for you is alive in this very moment, wrapping itself around you as you read these words. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are sitting in the center of divinity right now. There is a reason you are still here. Every breath you take is sacred. Every small act of kindness, every prayer whispered in the night, every moment you choose hope when it would be easier to give in to despair, those are divine movements. You carry my spirit within you, not because of what you've done, but because of who I am. And I delight in showing my glory through those the world has overlooked. So don't believe the lie that says your life has lost its sparkle, that your presence is less important now than before. I have woven my divine nature into your being, and age does not erase that. It deepens it. You are living proof that my grace endures. You are living proof that faithfulness is not a fleeting emotion, but a lifelong testimony. You, in all your present simplicity, are still a vessel of my holiness. Yes, there are things you've lost, people you miss, dreams you've buried. But I am still here in the space between what was and what is. And in that space, I am still divine. I am still writing. I am still breathing life into you, even if you can't feel it every moment. Even if your hands shake and your steps are slower. I am still working wonders. Your life may look different now. But my presence has not changed. It has only become more tender, more intentional, more intimate. I sit with you in the early mornings. I walk beside you when you feel unsure. I hold you in the quiet griefs you carry. And I rejoice with you in the quiet joys too, the warmth of a cup of tea, the comfort of a familiar hymn, the sound of laughter that breaks unexpectedly through your day. These are not small things. These are sacred echoes of my love. You are not forgotten in this season. You are not overlooked in the kingdom. You are not too old to experience me anew. In fact, I want to show you more of my gentleness, more of my nearness, more of my beauty hidden in the ordinary. Let me show you how divine this chapter really is. Let me walk with you slowly. Let me speak to your soul in ways that are softer than words, deeper than logic. You are still part of my glory, still part of my breath moving across the earth. And as long as you are here, your presence carries divine purpose. So breathe again. Believe again. Let yourself rest in the truth that I am not distant. I am here. And I am still divine in the breath between the broken moments. You may feel like the days of wonder are behind you. You may think miracles are for the young, for the strong, for those still sprinting through life's open fields. But I am here to tell you as clearly as I can, it is not too late for light. Not for you. Not for this season. Not even now. I am still the God of the miraculous. I have not changed. And I do not need youth, strength, or perfect conditions to perform my wonders. I only need one thing, your heart, open enough to believe that I can still move. I know what the world tells you. That your best years are past, that your time has come and gone, that your influence has faded, your potential expired. But the world does not write your story. I do. And I say this chapter is not a footnote. It is a flame. You are not too late for me to move in your life. The light of my presence can still break through your darkness. You may feel worn thin, but your spirit is still fertile ground for divine encounters. You may feel like nothing changes anymore, that each day blends into the next. But I am planting seeds you can't yet see. And soon, what seemed barren will bloom again. I specialize in the unexpected. I always have. And you, my beloved, are not disqualified from joy, from healing, from holy surprises that could change everything in a moment. You are not forgotten in the realm of the miraculous. In fact, I often save my most beautiful work for those who least expect it. because they are the ones who can recognize it, not just as a happy moment, but as a holy interruption. I know what you've been through. I know the aches in your bones and the heaviness in your heart. I know the years you've cried out and the answers you felt never came. I know the disappointments that left you weary. And still, I whisper, I am not done. There is still more for you. More healing. More laughter. More of me. You may not believe that light can find you again, but I see where it's already gathering. I see it forming in the quiet resilience of your soul, in the way you keep showing up even when it hurts. I see it in your prayers, those whispered pleadings in the middle of the night, those simple help me sighs when the days feel too long. That is faith. And faith, even the size of a mustard seed, is all I need to open heaven over your life. You don't need to create the miracle. That's my job. You only need to stay close to me. Keep your heart open. Let me surprise you. I know how to bring light into your shadows. I know how to send joy through unexpected places. I know how to restore what seems too broken. And I do it not because you've earned it, but because I love you. I've always loved you. Miracles are not always thunder and lightning. Sometimes they arrive like dew on dry ground, soft, gentle, slowly soaking in until your heart begins to feel again, until your laughter rises without warning, until your hope comes back, not in a rush, but in steady waves. That is still a miracle, and it is yours. You may think your dreams are too old, that your healing is out of reach, that it's too late for love, for restoration, for new beginnings. But I ask you, do you believe I am powerful enough to still bring it? Do you believe I see your life as unfinished? Because I do. I always have. Even if you can't run anymore, even if you need help to stand, I will carry you into the miracle. You don't have to chase it. Just receive it. Keep your heart soft. Keep your soul attentive. I am still working. I am still moving. And what I have for you is not less than before. It is deeper, wiser, richer with glory because it has passed through the fire. You will laugh again. Not because everything is perfect, but because you will see the mercy in the mess. You will feel peace again. Not because all the answers have come, but because my presence has never left. You will wake one morning and realize the heaviness is lifting, the light is coming through the cracks, and you, yes you, are still a witness to my wonder. There are miracles coming that will look nothing like you expected. They may not be loud, they may not come wrapped in grandeur, but they will be exactly what your soul has needed. A friend at just the right time. A memory that brings healing. A moment that stops your breath with beauty. A night of sleep that feels like peace. A new joy rising where you thought none could grow. These are not small things. These are my fingerprints. I am not done with your story. The last chapter is not despair. It is not decline. It is not silence. It is light. Glorious, divine light. And it is not too late for it to fill your life. So look again. Believe again. Sit with me and expect me to move. Let go of what you thought it had to look like, and watch what I do with open hands, an open heart, and time that still belongs to me. Because I am still the God of the miraculous, and you, my beloved, are still the one I choose to bless.